This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
What is up, everybody that can't see me right now? Hold on. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Gun Report, episode 19, season 3. As you can see, right over here, our boy Josh Cook is the fan profile of the week. We're going to get into training camp. We're going to talk about all of your questions and all the great things that we talk about here on the K-Gun Report, plus the Rager. Gonna hit this intro and let's see what happened, huh?
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Yo, what's up? Listen here, folks. I know this might look really weird that I'm just in the corner. Jarrod's not at his spot, and there's a big blank spot where Scott is.
I see it. I'm a white blob.
But I'm going to work on that really quick. Let us know if you guys can hear Scott. I'm going to get him right here. Scooter Magooter, how's it going? You know, let us know how you're feeling, how you're living.
Hey, what's up, Bills fans? What's up, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium, FLX Mafia? Good to be here on Tuesday, the K-Gun Report. Hey, we got Thursday night football this week. Jaguars versus, I can't remember who they're playing, but there's a football game going on. Not that it matters to us, but it's here. Time to cheer. We got until the end of the middle of February till football is over with now, so I'm excited for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, Jarrod's not here right now. He's dealing with some family bedtime things, I believe.
Yeah.
So he'll be here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who we got in the comments right now. We got Patrick Hughes saying mount up Mafia and get them beers cracking. Let's go. Definitely doing that because everything was going fine until right before we went live. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, so like even Facebook was being quirky.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Wouldn't let me share and all that stuff. So maybe there's some more strongholds that they're putting on this whole fan base. Who knows?
There's a lot of great comments here, man.
As always.
Let me see. I got to scroll down. We got Buffalo Spartan.
This is Sparta.
We got Lady Bills saying, "Hey, all, let's go Buffalo." And then she had this really great thing that said, the hell was it, dude? Is that you, God?
Hello? Oh, the white
everybody can
blurb?
hear you and they can't see you, dude.
Yes, yes.
Mike, I
Say
can
your
hear
prayers
him, but I
and
can't
brush
see
your
him.
teeth.
Is he cosplaying as John Cena?
Oh, me or Jared?
You. Oh, man, these Reed boys.
I think I have to lose some muscle mass to cosplay as him.
We got Eater here. We got Uncle
Nice.
James saying invisible superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
We got our boy Robbie from Let's Talk 716 Sports. What's up, Robbie?
What's up, Robbie?
We got Josh saying he's good. He came into my restaurant for dinner the other night too, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. Who are you talking about, boy? Oh. Got you. Patrick Hughes said, "Congratulations, Josh Cook. By the way, how's your brother James doing at camp?" LOL. Very nice. We got Lonnie, Tom Manweiler.
What's up, Lonnie?
Yeah, sorry, little juggle start here, but we got a nice viewership. Scott, could you do me a favor, man, and tell everybody about the Rager while I'm trying to figure out your video here?
Yeah. September 3rd, guys. You've heard it. You've seen it on our page. Our second annual regular season Rager. There, like I said, there's information out on it. We can't wait for it, Swank. It's actually 5 Saturdays away now.
Yeah.
It's a 3P to 9P event. We're doing it for the Help One Foundation via through the Shout for a Cause Inc., which is the Superfans organization there. It's a charity for charities. But guys, it's our little pep rally to kick off the 2022 NFL season. We're going to have a live stream of the K-Gun. We're going to have live music from the Endless Mountain Derelicts. That's Swank's band there. Yep, that's going to be a nice show. The $5 entry fee
Hold on. Just do a little bit of like a whoop. Look at you. There he is. Just like he didn't ever go anywhere.
Oh, and I see Jared's chest right there.
Oh, man. This is just turning around gangbusters.
But for those of you guys who don't know, it's $5 door fee. And what that does is it gets you in to meet Mark Maddox, special guest, awesome guest. That's the founder of Help One Foundation. And he's coming. It's going to be awesome. We got the super fans, Lady Bills, Buffalo Spartan, Bills Hawk, Bill's dad, Bill's kid. I can keep going. They're all going to be there for meet and greet. And you're also going to be entered to win a Stefan Diggs jersey. That's the $5 door prize right there. That's what it is. We will also have continually raffles. 100% of the proceeds go to the Help One Foundation as far as that goes. We will have 50-50. And we got some sweet merch for all that stuff, guys, too. So lots to go, lots to do. It's at Reinvention Brewery right there in Manchester, New York. They have a wide variety of beers. I've had majority of them. They're tasty, and they're actually going to be releasing a beer that day, too, as well. So it's a cream ale, which Swank and I have had a taste of, and it does taste pretty amazing. So
pretty creamy.
Yep. And guys, we don't mean to be annoying. We don't mean to be pushing the thread as far as getting information out there about the event. But, I forget about things. Do you forget about things, Jared Swank, all the time?
All the time.
So,
Jared forgot about the show. So,
so every week you'll see something of us reminding you we're not there just to push it like crazy. We are, but we don't mean to push it down your throats. But there are people that are going to forget that would love to come and would hate to miss it. So you'll see updates. September 3rd, Reinvention Brewery, the 24/7 Buffet in the Monium. The FLX Mafia will all be there to have a great old time. Can't wait for it.
Hell yeah, man. And you did a great job of pandering while I fixed everything else. So nothing is screwed up. Nothing is messed up. Everything is fine.
And can I keep going, Swank, real quick?
Do it up, buddy.
If you see behind Jared, welcome, Jared. Say hi to the guys and the girls and the Findemonium and the FLX Mafia.
Good to be here. Sorry I'm a little bit late. The kiddos had soccer tonight. We had to get them all ready for bed. So I'm here. FLX Mafia in the house. Go Bills.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Now, if you see it behind Jared, you see an M, black helmets with M on it. You see the black helmet with the M on here. You see this jersey. The Midlakes Junior Eagles. It's Vince Lombardi Little League Football League. The high school is actually revamping their field, taking the crown out of the middle of it. So those little guys have no place to play this year. And they also don't have concession stand of which they make all their money for certificates, for safety equipment, for equipment and all that stuff. So what we're doing, we started it last week. It's actually ending next Monday. is a donation raffle. $10 gets you into the raffle for an opportunity to win one of two new era field 1x1s. One is the sideline, the white, and one is the field, the green. $10 gets you a spot to win one of those. We'll spin that Pandemonium Wheel of Destiny for your chance to win. Again, DM us, PM us if you don't understand the rules. It is also on 24/7 Buff Pandemonium's page and FLX Mafia's page. And my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal are there. You tell when you pay, you tell me what it's for. We'll put you on the Pandemonium Wheel of Destiny. So it's for kids. It's to help with their equipment, certifications, all that good stuff. It's a great cause, and it's going until Monday the 8th. And we'll find out who the winners are Tuesday the 9th on the K-Gun Report.
Hell yeah, nicely done. It's our alma mater, our high school. These boys both played football, and I love football, and here you are, man. We all live within the area, and it's for a good damn cause.
Mm-hmm.
We got Mike Voigt asking, is it going to be a 24/7 inspired drink? It is a beer, the Super Fanatic beer at Reinvention. It's a cream ale that they have previously released, but they wait until a specific time to release it, and now they are coordinating that with this event. So we are Super Fanatics, I guess. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it is. It's 24/7 beer. I'm going to be drinking it all day.
There you go. And that's a good question because, we 24/7 Buff in the morning, we are the Bills Mafia and vice versa. So if it's Fanatics, 24/7 Buff in the morning, Bills Mafia, FLX Mafia, we're all the same group. So yeah, I would say it's inspired by the whole gang as a whole
gaggle.
for sure. It's a gaggle. Jarrod, real quick, are you able to share the event?
Which event?
This one. This current
Yeah,
show.
I just did. Yeah.
Okay, because it won't let me share to anything, so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't Facebook because Facebook's been acting kind of quirky.
Facebook's doing good. We're cruising up right around 20 viewers right now.
Good.
Everybody's getting their comments in. Patrick
Awesome.
wanted to know what we're all drinking. I got a Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Fang IPA, and he did say double duty, double the beer, and you're right. This is a too hazy night, buddy. So
There you go.
what do you guys got?
I'm a hazy guy too, an IPA guy too, but I've been hooked on Big Ditch's sour beer. It's actually their Doc Jams sour fruit beer. If you haven't tried sour beer, it's a different experience, but I've been hooked on that now for a couple days. Cheers.
Our boy Brent Thomason checking in. What is up, Big Brent? Drinking some Stored Shine apple pie. Nice.
Joe, what do you got? You just showed it. Tell everybody what
I
it
have
is.
the Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA, New Belgium.
I like those.
It's one of my favorites.
Tasty.
Lady Bill says rose hard cider because I can't drink real beer. I'm gonna say, is that rosé or rose? You gotta spell it out phonetically for us.
Rosé.
Nicole says hi everyone. I know I missed some of you guys' comments. I'm sorry. Let's see, Paul Rossi, you guys tried your namesake beer, 3 Philosophers from Omegang?
Love it.
I have had that, dude.
Yep.
And Omegang, if you guys haven't been there, it's in Cooperstown. And it's a sweet, sweet little spot. Well, big spot. They have some really big concerts there, too, that are pretty cool. All right, so real fast here. We're going to get on to training camp. We're going to get on to some Deshaun Watson news. We're going to get into the Miami Dolphin debacle, the Dolphin debacle of 2022. We're going to do all that. But for the last couple weeks, I've been doing a sweet little game with these Reed twins, and I got to come up with a name for it. But the last 2 weeks, it's been kind of stat-oriented lists, guessing rankings and players and teams and all that kind of stuff. This week, boyos, we are going specifically to 2021 tight end statistics, my friends. Now, if you go to fantasypros.com, which you two cannot go to right now,
hands are off the computer.
They have a ranking of the best tight ends from last year. Okay. They take receiving, receptions, targets, yards, yards per reception, their long, how many touchdowns, all that stuff all into consideration. And what I would like you gentlemen to do for me is to please, if you could, name the top 10 statistically ranked tight ends from last year's 2021 season.
Top 10. Waller.
Wrong.
Oh, right off the bat.
And this is why this is so great.
Aaron Waller's not in there, huh?
He's not on the top 10 list.
Uh,
Sorry about
Is Pete Metzelaar's one of those? Just
Pete
kidding.
it.
I gotta go. I gotta go with a guy that's always on my fantasy team. I always start off with him. I traded him away last year, which was a mistake. But Mark Andrews definitely, Baltimore tight end.
Mark Andrews, my friend, is number 1 on this list. So
Damn.
That's an easy
score
one.
one for Mr. Scooter Magooter. Jerry, you're in the hole. What do you got? Don't be peeking.
Kelsey.
I see you over there.
No, I'm trying to share. No, Kelsey. I'll show you. It's just a blank
I'm
screen.
just joking. I'll prove it
No,
to
these
you.
games are too fun to cheat. So
Travis Kelsey, number 2. Ding.
Yeah.
We got a read, back-to-back read. If you guys are interested at home, Travis Kelsey had 92 receptions on 134 targets for 1,125 yards and 9 touchdowns. Mark Andrews had 107 receptions on 153 targets, 1,361 yards with 9 touchdowns.
A guy who probably helped Kyler Murray get his contract this year. I don't know. There's a guy that Bills players wanted last year too. Did Zach Ertz make the list?
Look at this dude scraping the bottom of the barrel. Mr.
Is he out of it?
Zach
Bottom of the
Ertz,
barrel. So he's in
number
it.
10. Number
Okay.
10, Mr. Zach Ertz. Zach came in with a solid 74 receptions on 112 targets, 763 yards. I actually made a Twitter faux pas last year. I got into it about how Dawson Knox was way better than Ertz, and I done got Google jacked. I had the year previous's stats to compare for Zach Ertz, and I got owned. So I owned up to it.
So who do we have so far? We have Andrews 1, Kels 2,
I should probably write this
And
down.
10 is Zach Ertz.
Ertz.
so
All
you
right.
still need
So
3
1,
for
2. Dawson Knox has to be top 5.
Dawson Knox is number 6.
Oh,
Wrong again.
so he's not top 5. Damn it. So he's in there. Okay, Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox, 49 receptions on 71 targets. Didn't it feel like a lot more than that? 587
Well,
yards.
He had a handful of touchdowns. He had like 7
9.
touchdowns, something like 9 touchdowns. So
9
that's why I
touchdowns.
probably seen more than that.
Yep, and that's why he got bumped up in these here rankings.
One of my favorite tight ends coming out of the draft 2 years ago, I thought the Bills should get is Mike Gesicki. Is he in there?
Mr.
Miami.
Gesicki, sir, just missed this list at number
11.
11. 73 targets, 73 receptions, 112 targets, 780 yards, and only 2 touchdowns for as much hype as Mr. Gesicki gets. But no, he's number 11.
I'm going to murder the guy's name, but he's the tight end for the Detroit Lions. Oh,
For what year? You're talking about Hutchinson? TJ Hutchinson?
TJ Hawkinson.
He is number 16.
Oh, Jesus. Did we say Travis Kelsey? We did, right?
You did, yep. Mark Andrews, Travis Kelsey, Zach Ertz, and Knox. Who you got?
Schultz is his last name. I can't remember his
Dalton
first name.
Schultz from
Dallas.
the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, he is number 3
Yep.
on this list. 78 receptions, 104 targets, 808 yards, 8 touchdowns. Big guy. You guys are missing some big ones, man. I mean, I'll start dropping
Pitts, the
hints.
rookie. Atlanta's rookie,
There
Pitts.
you go. Yes, Kyle Pitts, number 9 on the list.
A quiet guy. I'm just guessing here. He blew it up when he was with the Chargers. He went to the Patriots. Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry, number 7
Okay.
on this list.
Is Gronkowski in there too?
Gronkowski, number 5 on this list.
Okay. We're on a roll now.
Yes, sir. 802 yards, 6 touchdowns. You're missing a big guy at number 4.
I'm talking, and no one's hearing me because I'm muted. No
I'm
font.
going to interrupt you, here, Jared. I'm going to interrupt. Who'd you say?
No font.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He's number 13 on the list. Good try.
I know who else. I know who you're talking about, Swank.
Who got
He interrupted NFL Network today during an interview. It's George Kittle.
George Kittle, number 4. So let me make sure we got this all right. You got George, Rob, Dawson, Who'd you say from New England?
Hunter Henry.
Yes, Hunter Henry. Yes. Sir.
Another tight end out of Penn State that I was a big fan of. I thought the Bills should get was Pat Freiermuth.
He's number 12.
Oh, he's
Guess
outside.
so. I'm going to say right now you guys are only missing one, and it might be a little hard, man.
No, Swank. I know who it is.
You got it?
I saw a meme out today, not a meme, but a fantasy football thing that said, which one would you rather draft in real life? $880,000 a year, Dawson Knox, or $14.5 million a year in Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia?
Sir, you done me right. Mr. Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia, 56 receptions, 76 targets, 830 yards, which is reasonable, 4 TDs.
And to answer that question, I think I'd rather have Dawson Knox.
Yeah, 100%. Great job, you guys. Holy. I was telling Scooter earlier today, Jarrod, like, I like when you guys miss by a couple because it just shows, like, how close you are. Like, I mean, I don't think I could have named 10 tight ends in the league, to be honest. I probably could if I really tried.
You could if you tried.
OJ Howard.
Well, you guys mentioned something about WGR 550 where we like to listen to those guys talk all day long. They did something about how many 40-point games the Bills scored.
Yeah.
Right? So when you started talking about tight ends, I thought you were going to talk about tight ends between 2009, 2018. I was like, oh, I know a lot, like Chandler and all those guys. This might be easy. But then you said 2021 top 10. I was like, oh, God.
Well, I like this list, and I got thinking about this today because there's been a lot of hype about OJ Howard at training camp. And I think that people say he's looked better than he's ever looked. He looks athletic. He's coming off an Achilles, right? He's a year and a half removed off that. And there were some really good points that I've been reading and hearing on podcasts and radio and stuff about how explosive he looks now. Yes, because he couldn't look explosive for those times. Like that time where he was healing, like that, it's a bitch of an injury. So it's really interesting to me to be thinking about, we keep talking about big personnel, 12 personnel, all that stuff, man, where it's like you want these 2 tight end sets, and he really might be the guy that can make all of our dreams come true in that respect. I did think it was weird, and I wanted to ask you guys about this because they say, OJ's known more for his blocking than anything else in the last season and a half, 2 seasons, whatever. And he kind of got overshadowed by Gronk and even was 3rd on that depth chart in Tampa Bay last year. I would think with an Achilles injury, I know cutting and setting your feet and doing all that stuff is hard on it, but I would think bracing in that stance with an Achilles that was bad or healing would be just as painful to be blocking out somebody who's putting pressure on you like that. You guys got any insight or anything on that playing the game?
I think the backpedaling, they always tell you the strength in when you have those shin splints and all that stuff, the strength in your calves and all that stuff, you can't all just go forward. Moving backwards is one of those things that strengthens it up. So that tells you that it does play a large part in taking weight going backwards. I would guess, I was a quarterback, so I didn't block much. And even if I could, I kind of did the Brady thing and weaved in between the blocks.
Did you just compare yourself to Tom Brady?
In his sissy run. Actually, I'm a better runner than Tom Brady was. But
Scott ran a 4.40.
Yeah. So
feet.
It's kind of,
Feet.
I was fast. We ran the option at Mid Lakes, but the 4.40 didn't come after I went until after Mid Lakes. But that pressure coming back, you're not only taking your own weight, but you're taking your weight stepping back, and then you're taking the addition 300, 240 pounders pushing on you on top of what kind of pressure they can create with the force that they're bringing. So I would probably say it's pretty comparable, if not more, than like a wide receiver taking off into a sprint. That's a lot of pressure on your calf muscles and your Achilles. So you would think if he could handle the block, the running routes and all that stuff wouldn't be that hard. Yeah. But there is a lot of torque on that muscle when you do come out of a break and do an out route or a slant. The quick ones, the outs, the ins, and the comebacks. You know what I mean?
Sure. So yeah, I think especially in cleats, when you're planting that foot to cut, like you're putting a lot of pressure and twisting. So absolutely. But I was just curious because nobody was bringing that up. And I was thinking, like, it's got to be hard to, like, backpedal, set, and then brace yourself and be getting hit. And, like, really, I know, like, they teach you where all the weight should be coming from, but that's where your leverage is coming from, is from your feet, right? Like, if you don't have a firm base and you're not pushing back on it, and right there, I mean, if you lift your heel up, you can feel, you know, that's your Achilles right there, you know what I mean? So I just thought it was interesting.
Well, and the tendons attach muscle to bone, ligaments are bone to bone. So both of them have not a very good blood supply. So it's a lot harder for those to heal rather than a torn muscle or anything like that. So it's a painful, long injury recovery for sure.
That's why they say bad sprains and strains are worse than breaks because, again, like you said, the blood supply makes the healing process miserable and it's uncomfortable. Yeah.
And Jared's a massage therapist. He knows all about the muscles and all that stuff too. So
also,
I would trust what he has to say.
You watching Trey White and stuff on the sidelines doing his workout and all these guys, even if you're not a Bills fan, you're watching your own team do it. There's a difference in even when you're trying to mimic the fastest part of football in practice, you can't. If you compare that to the actual game, there's no comparison. So these guys could feel good. And then when you go out to the field, the adrenaline's kicking in, everything's kicking in, you're going faster, you're actually getting lower to the ground, you're just working it harder. And your muscles don't really see that until it's game time. They try to get you as close as possible as they can, but that never will happen until you get to the game.
Ellen Lart says, for anybody who is curious, I had my Achilles tendon severed and rebuilt at age 9. Wow, Ellen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, those muscles, those injuries are nasty because if you slice Achilles right in half, your calf muscle will legit fold right into the back of your knee. Same thing with a hamstring pull. You pull your hamstring, it's going right up to your ass. You pull up, you tear your bicep, it goes right up to your deltoid. All these muscles are so tight that when you snap them, they fold right up into the socket into the area of insertion of the other spot. So it's painful and it's a big time recovery because that muscle is constantly pulling on those tendons and ligaments even when you're not flexing them.
This is probably the grossest section of the Kagan report we've ever done.
That's the thing about tendons and ligaments too. They usually break and snap and all that. That's usually non-contact injuries is the ligaments.
Yeah. And those are the worst injuries. Right?
Yep. Those are the worst ones. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So real quick, since we're kind of segueing that way, I want to transition right into the meat and taters of tonight's episode. Thank you guys for hanging with us through all the little technical difficulties. We're rocking right at 20 over on Facebook, and you guys are killing it. Keep the comments coming.
Yep, for sure.
I want to get into training camp. That's what everybody wants to get into. We are all glued to every single little bit of content and social media and news and highlights and press conference that you can possibly be glued to at this time. It's almost a blessing that we go a week in between each show because there's a lot to talk about now. But by the time you get to Tuesday, there's already been like 3 things. It's like the news of the day had cycled through. So I'd like to go around and just say, you know, what has been your favorite part of training camp, or who's been your favorite surprise of training camp so far? And we'll start there and then kind of go around and see what happens. You guys out there, you tell us too. Yeah,
for sure. I got a handful of things. So Jared, if you want to start, then I can probably wean out what I want to talk about.
So I went to training camp Monday. I took the family up there and we played a lot of in the kid zone and stuff like that. And so I didn't have much time to watch everything, but I had the opportunity to sit at the second field where all the special teamers were, the kickers. And I'm telling you what,
tell me all about
Matt Araiza is consistently spiraling that ball through the air like a knife in butter, and it's always going 60 yards at least.
So Matt Araiza, I apologize ahead of time. Jared will murder your name. He'll get it right. He'll murder it. He'll get it right. It's Araiza, Jared. It's not Araiza anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, Araiza. So
don't listen to my.
I don't know, but when I was watching him, he was getting Araiza out of me.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
So,
hey.
Again, remember,
Okay.
Jarrod is a massage therapist, so he knows where all those muscles are
No,
attached.
Deshaun Watson. Listen. But no, it was wonderful to see. You saw those three guys over there. You saw Hack and Ariza and Reed Ferguson, our favorite long snapper of all time. What are you shaking your head for?
Hawk, Jarrod, not Hack.
Hawk. Well, Hack, because I don't think he's going to make it because Ariza is just dominating. So we loved Hack when he was here. Hawk. But Matt Ariza has been doing something special, and it's fun. It's been fun to watch.
I like how it's been a week since we've talked about training camp on the show, and the first thing you go to is the punter.
Well, that's where I camped out for like a half hour Mondays over there watching them.
Well, tell us about your day, man. Didn't something else cool happen?
Something else cool happened that day. So I took both boys to the camp, and my 5-year-old was just fascinated with all the fun things you can do and the food. And my 7-year-old Sullivan wanted to do everything, but she can't do everything. You know what I mean? So he wanted to play at the kids' zone. He wanted to go watch practice, and he was most interested in getting an autograph. So we did all the stuff. We ate food and we sat by the field, and the autographs never came. And I told him, you never know when the autograph's going to come, Bob. You just have to be patient. And lo and behold, we were sitting, waiting for the buses to take us back. I was talking to this lovely woman and his son, Micah. His son's Micah. And I look over to the parking lot, and I see a guy limping. And we've been watching film and all this stuff all week in the last couple of months. And I was like, the sentence I said was, "Oh, judging from that walk, it looks like Micah Hyde's coming up." And this woman I was talking to lit up. She was there with her son specifically for Micah Hyde. So she turned around, went to the hedgerow there. It was like, Micah, can you sign something for my son? Come on, I'll do your dishes. I'll fold your laundry. And Micah goes, I'll be right up. So when he said that, we all went over there. And the first thing I did is I looked back, and Everett was still, he wasn't paying attention. He was just being a 5-year-old. And Sullivan's like looking at me. I was like, this is our chance, buddy. Let's go. So we ran over. Micah was just signing everything. And it was so awesome. He took a moment and he signed Sullivan's hat, but we also got a little helmet that we're going to be able to raffle away for the Rager on September 3rd that Micah Hyde signed. So it was all fun. And I looked at Sully afterwards. I was like, see, you never know. He's like, that was awesome. And it's just, we're getting a Micah Hyde jersey now. So it was a great end of the day. And anybody going to the camp, just be patient because you never know. We actually, when we were on the bus, Dawson Knox scooted by on his little scooter there. So you never know when you're going to see him. And it was fun. It was freaking sweet.
Really fast, Patrick Hughes has the comment of the night. He said, you should be forced to chug a beer for saying a name wrong. Yeah, I said it.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back.
We don't need Jarrod in that state of mind.
Who said that?
Patrick Hughes.
Patrick, who's number 44 in the Buffalo Bills?
He's not going to say it. You're not going to hear him.
This is great.
How long,
great
how long did we murder that for?
Yeah,
Metakovich.
Right.
By the way, Sully and I have been playing Madden. Sully loves being Metakovich on
Metakovich.
Metakovich.
But yeah, Jarrod's mini helmet, guys. What Jarrod did for this regular season Rager raffle, he got us a mini helmet with Micah Hyde's signature on it, but it's a 1-of-1. He created this mini helmet. He took it apart, put the pearl on it that the Bills currently use, and had a sweet little blue buffalo, standing buffalo put on it. So, to add to the value of it, it's 1-of-1, never been made before, and it's signed by Micah Hyde, so it's pretty sweet. And you're getting a little 7-year-old's dreams coming true, and now he's got one of his favorite players. He's getting a jersey. That's awesome, and that's what it's all about.
That'll be forever, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, quickly add that the Micah that the mom was screaming for, her son, got an autograph on his forearm, and then he had that tattooed in. Fandemonium, would you ever get an autograph tattooed to your body? That's the question I've been thinking about today. Is this guy went out, and it's ballsy to do that. And the only names I would ever put on my body personally are my kids. But you know what I mean? So it's like, would you, Swank and Scott, if it was Jim Kelly or Bruce Smith, would you get that tattooed on your body?
No. I'll tell you what, man. The thing is, and you guys, do you guys each have tattoos?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know how many you got or whatever. But I haven't gotten tattooed in a long time, but I have enough tattoos. I have my half sleeve and my shin and my foot and my other, whatever. I'm covered enough to where, like, you hit this point where all of a sudden it's not like so much about exactly what you want as long as the artist can make it look cool and it's like in the ballpark. You know what I mean? You kind of, it's not like you run out of ideas, but I think like you devalue like the importance of permanently putting something on your body, right? Because you're like, well, I'm already this far in and it's whatever. And that's not saying that like whatever. Like, I don't regret anything I ever did. And I'd probably still get more. I just have other stuff I want to spend my money on, you know. But something like that, like I have thought about getting like a grazing buffalo. Like, I think that would be good with me, but that's not like a specific player like throwing his John Hancock on you. Like, to me, like that doesn't do it for me. I get if it does it for some other people, but like Bills fan, like being a Bills fan means more to me than like one player, you know what I mean? So I think to me it like translates further.
Right.
But what do you
The only thing I think that makes it work is Micah's the same name as Micah, right? So it's his name going on there. The only difference is it's a different signature in the number 23. So I get that part. That would probably be something that makes more sense to me. And this kid was so excited. He's a freshman in St. John Fisher this year too, so he's pumped.
Point of order. What if you were a fan of Deshaun Watson 4 years ago and you got his name tattooed on you?
Oh shit,
God.
man!
I'm just saying, man, that's like a serious question. That wasn't even a joke. I mean, it's
no,
funny,
it makes sense.
It's like
that's what it is.
Yeah, you don't know where these people who are
Like,
who's
what if you had the juices loose on your right arm?
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, right?
Spartan says the superfan Bills foot had Pancho Sun write "Viva Los Bills" on his arm, and he got it tattooed on him. I get that, dude. Like, I think to me that's awesome.
That'll always live in, you know, I mean, that's something that will just carry on forever.
Ellen Lord says, I've seen some fans who have taken players' autographs and had them recreated in auto paint on a car. That's pretty cool too.
That's cool.
I could see that.
Yep.
Yeah. To each their own, man. But
yeah,
for sure.
very true.
So
I want to answer some questions real quick here about injuries. That's obviously been a big thing in camp. Micah came up with a hip pointer, I believe. He was in pads and he's practicing, but he won't be 100% for a couple weeks, which is good because we have a bunch of weeks till the season opener, right? And then Jordan Poyer, apparently, from what I'm hearing, it was a slight hyperextension of his elbow. No ligament, tendon, muscle damage, or anything like that. He will be a couple weeks. So, it could have been a lot worse. It's not. And the good thing is, those guys have been there forever. So it's not like them missing a couple weeks is going to be so detrimental to that it's going to be impossible to recover from. So we got lucky. It is what it is. Adapts to the conditioning teams because we have been told that they are top notch with their facility along with the people that are involved. And, you know, flexibility and all that stuff play a large role in recovery and prevention of injury. And our Bills are top notch in that. So avoided a lot of bad things this week with those two guys getting injured, and I think we're safe. I think we're good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously you never want to see either of those guys go down, any of the Bills go down. But what I was thinking was once I heard that it was like, okay, it's a hyperextension, like he'll be back before the season. I'm fairly confident in that. And he's a guy that doesn't need reps in the preseason anyway.
Right.
But I was just thinking, like, you know, what if that was Kyer? You know what I mean? That would damn near be devastating. You know, if one of the corners went down with something that like, and not just like an injury like that, which I'm not trying to discount a hyperextended elbow or whatever, but it could be worse. But if one of those like if Kyer got that kind of injury and he missed the rest of training camp,
that would be detrimental for sure.
That would be devastating.
Yep.
He needs these reps. He needs this time. All the stuff going on between him and Diggs, it's making him a better corner. All the advice he's getting from Micah and Poyer and all that stuff, like a rookie in that position. I'm, you know, not that I'm glad it's Jordan, but I'm just glad, like, that he's going to be A-okay for the season and B, that the training staff is so well-educated and know what the hell they're doing. So we don't have to talk about big injuries. Aside from Trey, I can't think of one huge injury that's happened there in the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yep.
So
And that says a lot about our, like I said, our conditioning and all that stuff. So that's good.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite stories from camp right now, and I'm going to steal it on you guys because I know both of you are into this.
I got a couple of them, so I'm
Okay.
glad you're taking some things away.
All right. Lil Dirty.
Okay.
Isaiah
Yes.
McKenzie, number 6. He is making a splash at camp. And yes, part of it's because Crowder hasn't been available. He's been at camp the last 2 days. Isaiah's still taking those reps. And all the highlight reels that you're seeing from training camp, and I know it's camp, and I know it's practice, and it's whatever, he is making tremendous catches. And he is getting open. And he is putting himself in a spot to be the starting slot receiver on this team, which is not a spot I don't think any of us were ready to say that a couple months ago. Agree?
Agree.
So, number 1, so glad, so happy for him. I hope he keeps fighting and going. They also said another little tidbit. He's not taking returns. And it's not because they don't think he's incapable of it. It's more he's got a bigger role in this offense. Whether he's a starting slot receiver or not, they've hinted at the fact that he's going to be have a bigger role in this offense than he did last year. And I think that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. And we were just talking about injuries, and you're talking about Kyer Elam and the rookies getting injured and how that would be detrimental because the depth that's them. That's the depth. With Jamison Crowder being out with taking a couple practices off, it's actually benefited a position that we do have good depth at. And Isaiah McKenzie is now playing a role where he is proving that he is that guy that potentially can be the starting slot wide receiver. And it's not just from what people are seeing in the media, Swank and Jarrod. It's McDermott, again, a guy that keeps everything close to his chest, kind of actually said something about what he's most worried about for him is now teams are going to have to prepare for him as being a starting wide receiver at a starting role. And that says a lot. It really does. And there was also something that I heard WGR 550 talk about is, and guys, we've kind of hinted towards this back in 2021, 2020, 2019. Maybe Dable wasn't as good as an offensive coordinator as we thought he might have been. Maybe. I think Josh Allen made him a lot better than he actually was. I think Dable may have thought McKenzie was someone that was just a special teams guy and did not know how to use him as a slot receiver. And it's all going back to McKenzie was signed. He didn't even hit free agency. He was signed quick. Ken Dorsey, I think, believes in McKenzie's ability to play as a starting wide receiver in the NFL rather than just a special teams guy. And then with McDermott saying what he did, guys, I think we're looking at our slot receiver now, which quite makes me question what Jamison Crowder's route, what his responsibility will be now as a wide receiver. But I'm excited for him. Take advantage of your routes, and we've got him for 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Ken Dorsey just seems like a breath of fresh air, and I don't want to put the carriage in front of the horse or anything like that. I know everybody's singing Brian Dable's praises. He's a head coach now. He's going to turn the Giants. Daniel Jones is the next Josh Allen now. They got some multiple Swiss Army knife slot type McKenzie guy that he's going to put into that offense, and he's going to really turn the Giants around. The Giants have a lot of pieces that are encouraging. To me, they're building. They're really building. It's going to be up to Sean to really put that team together, and that's another benefit that Dable had here, and a genius like Brandon Beane, who worked so seamlessly with a head coach like Sean McDermott to move together with one solidified mindset and a common process that just, it's perfect. Like they're perfect. Like the whole diagram is perfect. People are talking. Somebody mentioned Cole Beasley and saying that McKenzie didn't get to see. Yeah, I got it up here right now. Joey Hatch did. What's up, Joey? McKenzie said sitting behind Beasley, nobody saw what he was capable of.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But if you look at the progression of Josh Allen, he needed Beasley. He needed John Brown. He needed these receivers that were solid, that even though there wasn't a lot of yak or anything like that, you got a guy that can get open, sit down, get you yardage. That's Cole Beasley right across the middle. He's still that guy. And this is a little sidebar. How the hell is that guy not signed right now? By a Chicago, by any place that has a young, the 49ers, for Christ's sake, Miami, anybody that has a young quarterback who's still trying to find footing. Like, how aren't teams stealing this this process and turning their teams into contenders too? It seems easy, I'm not saying it's easy to do, but I mean, like, it's like, look what they did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try. If you think your guy's the guy, try. Put those pieces around him. You know what I mean? And Cole Beasley's just sitting there. Yep. Like, I just don't get it.
There's a lot of injuries
for the first 2 years. Yeah, he's a great piece for the 2 years.
Cole Beasley is going to fall under the category of having to wait till there's a bunch of injuries, key injuries to the wide receiver core to be not drafted, but brought in, unfortunately. But yeah, why isn't he not on a team yet? You saw what he did for Allen. It's one of those things. But Isaiah McKenzie, he's been in the system for a while, and the limited amount of what we've seen from him, he has come in and performed. And I think to his benefit, he's been under the system now for a while where he understands everything. Rob Mullen put out a comment, which, understandably, we know now why McKenzie kind of struggled to get a starting position, fumbling punts, running wrong routes. But when you're in a system for a long time, you start understanding things, you fix those mistakes, and you become – this is why you need to keep developing into a system. You become what the team needs you to be, and you're consistent, you're reliable, you're now a starter.
Yep.
Getting back on the whole Dorsey talk, you guys got to remember, this guy actually played the position, and he played it well. When he was at Miami U, he was looked at as one of the best quarterbacks in college history. And to be able to come into a organization and be the offensive coordinator now, he's going to see stuff that maybe somebody that has never played doesn't see. So that whole McKenzie talk about how did DeBall use him wrong, where Dorsey's going to use him like this now. And that might be just the simple fact that Dorsey played the game. And that's a great thing to have on our coaching staff.
Here's something that's totally speculation. I think that Josh Allen and Brian Daboll did not get along. Or I think that their relationship was a little aggravated. And I think Josh Allen's too good of a player and a teammate and a quarterback to really let it get in his way. Mm-hmm. But if we look at take those last 6 games of the season, there was times in at least 4 of those games where you're like, what the hell are they doing? And then all of a sudden it seemed like they just handed it over to Josh.
Yep.
And Josh willed them back. And I gotta think that they loosened the reins on him. Dable's plan wasn't working. McDermott probably pissed in his ear and said, let Josh be Josh. A little bit, I mean, I'm sure it's not that easy. But, like, as soon as it looked like Josh Allen was playing freer and doing the things he wanted to do, they started winning games. They started finishing games. They started, it turned the game around. And I don't think you'll ever know unless Dable says something like on his deathbed. But
you won't. Yeah,
right. But I just felt that friction. There was games where I saw Dable screaming at Josh Allen on the sideline. And I'm not saying Ken Dorsey is a guy that's not going to do that. But it just seems that those two dudes click on a level after being his quarterback's coach, after playing the position, after knowing who you're talking to and what you have going on. They have a better sync.
I agree.
But like I said, that's all speculation. Who knows? But I feel it in my gut. In my heart.
Yeah, a lot of the Fandemonium does too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So just to hit some of the highlights, I know we're going, man. Show goes so fast.
It does.
Let's go to 10 tonight. Overtime.
Diggs and Kyer. I love it. I love how physical they are. I love Kyer's presser where he's saying, between the white lines, they're not on the same team. He's going to be just as physical as Diggs is, and Diggs saying he's not going to let up. He's going to teach him, and he's got things to teach him. And outside of that, they are communicating and learning from each other. I think that's great and beautiful. Gabe Davis looking like a total beast through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
James Cook been solid through the whole thing so far. Singletary a little quiet, but I think that just means that he's doing what he needs to do. I will say I've heard good things about Moss. He's had splashy days.
Yep. And so like that's just par for the course. When you got somebody if you have a starter somewhere and you bring in rookies like a James Cook or Khalil Shakir, you're going to hear more about them because they're being evaluated more by the media, by the coaches, everything like that. For me, if a veteran is a quiet off season, I don't look into that at all by any means. No.
I think that just means they know how to practice.
Yep.
Is there anything else with the offense? Jarrod, you got anything else you want to sprinkle in there?
When I was at training camp, one of the first stops we went all the way around and we sat by the offense running their little quick 50% run throughs, and Cook was not there. I think he was out fielding punts. It was Moss and Singletary taking the 2 reps. So
there you go.
Moss, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see what that backfield looks like and where they're going to place people regarding Taiwan Jones, special teams and stuff like that. So
where was Duke Johnson?
He wasn't over there either. So I think they might have been with the receivers.
Sideline.
But it was pretty cool.
Him and Jarrod are comparing notes.
live from my 10 minutes of watching practice Monday.
Hey Duke, what do you think of this?
No, but I love the fact that Josh Allen and Phillips made a joke a little bit today about the go to any Miami Dolphins website and they're going to be like, the Buffalo Bills are falling apart. Why Tua's dropping bombs?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I wanted to talk about. You guys touched on everything I wanted, all the topics I thought we should discuss tonight as far as training camp goes. But the fight, the scuffles, that's what I wanted to talk about. So thanks for leaving that to me. For you young fans that have never heard about the Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith days, okay, you want to have problems in the locker room, you want to have scuffles, you want to have arguments. When you're adults, sometimes that's how you resolve issues. That's how you actually learn to respect one another. Okay, when you have two people that disagree on something and they are passionate about it and they come to a resolution.
Hey Scooter, can you stop clicking that pen?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We need to get you a stress ball in there.
I know, right? That's how progress is made. And our buddy Brian Van Slyke on Breaking Tables the other day mentioned it perfectly. Okay, we always preach iron sharpens iron. It causes a spark every once in a while. Okay, Brian Van Slyke said that. I was like, you know what? That's perfect. When iron is sharpening iron, it causes a spark. There's going to be a little bit of elevation in everybody's attitude, their ego, all that stuff. And you're playing against each other. You want to hit somebody else so hard, and you keep hitting your teammates, and they're still in your ear, and you see the same people over and over again. It happens. And so by no means necessary should anybody think that they're falling apart. It's a bonding experience. They need this to happen. You'd hate for a camp to go through without anybody doing any of this stuff. I'm telling you the truth. If there is nothing like that in camp throughout these bunch of weeks, then you've got to check your pulse as a fan base to say, is our team really that dedicated to one another? Yeah. It's just the way it works. I'm glad to see it. You hate to see your starting quarterback go after a 6'6", 350-pound guy, but no other quarterback is doing that, which tells you a lot about Josh Allen. And, you know, it's they've resolved their issues. They love each other, and they're ready for their season to start. They're ready to hit other people, and I can't wait to see it come next week, Saturday, when they're playing against the Colts, where I am taking my 6-year-old, going to be 6-year-old, to his first game ever.
Hey.
Nice. Swank, what was your favorite part about that little altercation?
I loved all. Well,
that Josh Allen didn't go.
My favorite part was that Mitch Morse yanked him out of there like he was a bouncer at a bar before it got too crazy. The whole thing, I love Josh Allen. I love Jordan Phillips. I love that whole interaction. He didn't feel like he was he got a little dirty in there, and he shoved him, and I was like first you see the video, you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, because Jordan got in his face too, and it's like I loved it. I'll tell you, I love it for 2 days after when I saw the video of Diggs and Allen fucking with Jordan Phillips. And Diggs like smacked his shoulder and then he like shadow boxed him a little bit. And then Allen acting like he was running into him and then he fell on his butt, you know? And it was like Jordan helped him up. They were laughing. Like, you know, I put a tweet out earlier, like yesterday, I think. This kind of stuff, like putting the pads on, ups the intensity. And where this foundation of all the buzzy words, the process, and all the stuff in the locker room and the family and all that stuff that Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane have instilled in this team for the last 5 years, that's where this stuff shines. They can be chippy. They can get in shoving matches. They can yell at each other. And then they can go to the locker room and they can work it out and everything's cool because they leave it on the field because that's where you're supposed to leave it. And there's no, like, blow it out of proportion, no like, oh my God, the team's imploding, except for by the Dolphins, right?
That was clear. They're gonna jump on anything they can.
Well, it's stupid.
Tua throws
you jump
wobblers
on that, and then all of a sudden your owner gets fined $1.5 million. He can't come to the building until October. Like, you know, whatever. You get draft picks taken away, but you're talking about Josh Allen getting fired up. I think Sean McDermott said it perfectly, man. He'd rather have to tell guys to, like, you know, take it down a notch rather than have to kick them in the ass to get them going. So he doesn't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Not at all.
Did you guys see what Patrick Hughes said?
What did he say?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in and crack another beer. We are going into overtime.
Dude, I am. Dude,
I'll tell you
working on
what.
a graphic for that right now, and it's going to be so sweet.
Could be stellar. The guy that's I don't know where Jarrod is in this stream right now. He's my brother, twin brother. I have a bunch of friends, a lot of close friends. If we haven't gotten in a scuffle, if we haven't gotten in an argument, if we haven't gotten in a disagreement, then and we went opposite directions after that, that wouldn't be family. That wouldn't be the way things work. It's a family atmosphere. That happens. I fight with my brother not all the time anymore, but we used to come to fisticuffs every once in a while. It's just the way it is, man. Brotherhood is brotherhood. You're going to – all you guys, both you guys are my brothers.
Well, I mean, that's true, man. I think, you know, not that you got to, like, get in a all-out brawl every single day of your life, but if you're not at least questioning each other or your friends or your family a little bit with something that, like, you don't agree with or you're trying to get clarification on or whatever, and sometimes that gets elevated. If you're not doing that, that means you're being complacent and you're just letting things go. And nothing's getting resolved.
Right.
You know, and as long, again, like, there's time that we disagree on stuff, right? The three of us or whatever. It's not like we beat each other's asses or anything, but we all express how we feel about it, and then it gets figured out, and it's for the better.
Right.
You know, like, and I don't know. I don't feel offended. I hope you guys don't feel offended, and I love both of you very much and all that stuff, but it's like, if you're not at least sticking up for your part of the pie and trying to get your point across, and maybe you're wrong, but having somebody fire it back at you and be like, you're wrong, to the point where you can see it, is like, that's also a way, like, oh wow, yeah, I was completely out of left field in that, you know. And it's, again, part of that family aspect that they've instilled in this team. Like, you know, nobody's
Swank, you know the difference? You know what the difference is? They have pads on and they're playing a contact sport.
Yeah.
So things look different.
Yeah.
It's all coming from the same thing. It just looks different because they're allowed to do that.
You can tell there was a little lighthearted part about it when you saw at the end of that whole confrontation. And Swank, this is where I thought you were going. It was when those two players who we don't know who they are yet jumped in.
Gabe Davis was one of them, I heard.
Oh, really?
But they're jumping in because they know it's not serious. It's just like a spark.
That's what I was gonna say. Like before I went off on that other way. I mean, that's how I was like, this is a joke. Like, those dudes are just bombing in and jumping out for no reason. You know, it's like, you're not trying to save or help or do it.
Oh, they're not throwing haymakers and trying to save anybody. They know what happens, and they're all being, all right, guys, let's get together. Let's just have a good time. Come on. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. Did you guys see Colin Cowherd tweeted out? It was so funny, dude. I know I'm going to change gears just a little bit. He tweeted out yesterday that according to the internet and Twitter, Tua has not thrown one incompletion this whole training camp.
All right.
And dude, it was like a bunch of people laughing and saying their little comments, but then a ton of Dolphins fans being like, "That's right."
Okay.
Just joking, dude. Like, because everything on Twitter is like Tua and Hill, man. They're the the next peanut butter and jelly, bro.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, God.
It's hilarious to watch.
It was
It's
really
Yeah, if
fun,
you
huh?
watch that long ball that hit like 12.3 million viewers, that
This
long
one?
ball that Tua threw
one?
to this to Hill. I'd be nervous on your safety coverage there because that was a cover two-man deep. Where was that safety on that?
Mhm.
So don't look at what the play ended up being. Look at the missed coverage that happened on the
Right.
defense. And you got to play Josh Allen twice. So might want to look into that video a little bit better than what you
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's
not
okay, man.
it's not just Tua, it's the defense. You're right.
Come strolling in. That's okay. Strolling with that big old chip on your shoulder. I can't wait. Von Miller. You know Von Miller?
Yeah, Von Miller.
Jo-
And that's the thing though with the AFC East. Mark Maddox has said this twice. Playing a team twice in a year is hard to do. So we've run house in the AFC East for the last couple of years, and to say that we're going to go 6-0 again this year in the AFC East it'd be nice to, but it's going to be hard to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get yours, Miami, if you get yours, New England or the Jets, then that's just how the divisional play plays out. And we'll hear it for that week, but then we'll go on to the next game. So I'm not going to say the Bills are going to go 6-0. Got to play the AFC East division twice. It's a tough division. So we'll see what happens. But 6-0 would be good, wouldn't it, guys?
Oh, hell yeah.
Perfect.
So,
I dig
Swank,
it.
do we want to introduce our little new segment here?
Yeah, you guys are you ready for it?
Jared, we kind of decided what we're doing, so I'll jump in on it.
All right.
Fandemonium, Bills Mafia, FLX Mafia. What we're doing now is it's a little segment we're coming up with. Swank does his little stat segment where he wants to know how the panel if they know their shit. What we're doing here is kind of
That's
a
what I'm
Buffalo
gonna call
Bills.
it. Do you know your shit?
Do you
That
know
is
your
what
shit?
it's called.
It's a fun thing that it's us at the panel, but we're going to ask you guys obviously throughout the year what you guys think is basic Buffalo Bills knowledge. Now, by any means, no means necessary are we judging anybody's fanhood by how much they know about the Buffalo Bills, but there is a little bit of information that we feel you should know a little bit about, right? Like
It's fun. It's going to be fun.
The colors, the Hall of Famers, the original owners,
The retired jerseys.
just you don't have to know them, but we're here to tell you what they are. And again, Fandemonium, PM us or DM us what you think personally a fan should know about our Buffalo Bills, and we might share it on our show next week. But so this week is what I call it there, Swank, Bills back to basics or something like that. Back to
No.
Bills basics.
Buffalo.
Back to Buffalo.
Basics. Zinga,
All right.
zinga.
It's
So-
new. It's new.
It's new. And what we're going with this week, Jared, you weren't here for this discussion, but Ralph Wilson. He is the original, the founder, the owner of the Buffalo Bills. He actually established he bought the team in 1960, where they were the silver and blue colors. But Ralph Wilson, owner for a long time from I think 1960 to 2014. Two-time AFL champion in 64 and 65. He won the Lamar Hunt Award in 2008. He's on the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame. Did a lot for the establishment. The AFL was a huge thing. He saved some teams in the AFL. But what we're going with this is one of the Bills facts you should know is Ralph Wilson was the original owner, the founder of the Buffalo Bills. Can you guys add anything to that?
That's a pretty good Buffalo basic, and I love it. I think next week we're going to do something else, but it's going to be interesting because the Buffalo Bills in 1960 wore the silver and blue, correct?
Correct.
And it's said to be because Ralph had ties with the Detroit Lions, and that's where he's from. So next week I'm already going to do a little little sneak peek is we're going to tell you what other Buffalo team there was before the 1960 Buffalo Bills who also wore the silver and blue, and how that history might be changed depending on what your take is. So,
well, it's funny because all the historians and all that stuff, they never say Ralph Wilson actually came up with the silver and blue because of Detroit. They just assumed it. But with some research and all that stuff, we actually figured out why. And you'll find out next week of why the Bills are silver and blue when they first started out. It's actually pretty interesting stuff.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was something that we talked about last week that we wanted to start incorporating a little bit into the show. And so we're going to do a little segment each week, back to Buffalo basics. And yeah, it is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to
sure.
we'll talk about it next week. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, that next week we'll talk about that new back to Buffalo basics, and we'll be spinning that Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny for a chance to win 2 pieces of New Era Stadium turf to help raise money for the Mid-Lakes Junior Screaming Eagles team, the football team, and the cheerleading team, because currently they're under construction to build and take the little bump in the middle of field out, so they have no field to play on and they have no concessions. So that's what that's going to be. Scott, explain more how you can get on that Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny.
On the 24/7 Buff Fandemonium page and FLX Mafia page, you'll see all the information. Basically, it's $10 to buy a spot. You can buy as many spots as you want. That $10 goes for money to help with all those situations that Jarrod just suggested. But it also puts you on the Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny for a chance to win those 2 pieces of New Era turf. We're helping the kids out, helping them raise money that they otherwise would make during the concessions, which you're not getting this year. And, you know, it's one of those things I've always said. The kids play the sport. They love the sport. They don't know the ins and outs as far as the boosters and all that stuff and how money is raised and how things are done. And to be able to help take care of that and provide them with the ability to play the sport that they love is just something that we're all on board about. And you'll see the information, like I said, on our page. But go Screaming Eagles, go Bills. And yeah, we can't wait. We got a week left. So donate.
I'm sorry if I've seemed a little distracted here, but I just have confirmation that my jerseys are going to be coming in soon. So.
Oh, nice.
Had to be in a little communication. But yeah, Sarah's getting a medium away Poyer jersey, which she pumped down. And I'm getting a Color Rush Diggs and an away Eddie Oliver.
Nice.
It's a really hard decision, man. I sat here thinking about it. Scott and I talked about it a little bit. Who are you guys getting?
I got my little Jack. He's a big Josh Allen fan. He got a Josh Allen jersey. I've always been a Jim Kelly fan through and through. I mean, I started watching the Bills in '89, so that's the guy I went with. So I got a Jim Kelly coming, and Jarrod, obviously with Sullivan having that experience with Micah Hyde, we got him a Micah Hyde.
Yeah, Sully's been asking for a Micah Hyde jersey, so that's been ordered already. That's coming. And then Everett is going to get a Devin Singletary jersey this year too.
All right, can I throw the name out, Swank? You think that's a problem? So if you see on our site, you see on a lot of the other Buffalo Bills Mafia sites, K. Smith, he's a guy that actually is hooking us up with jerseys. He does a little thing through Amazon. You help out his page, he helps you out with jerseys. And it's a wonderful thing. People are always asking for vouchers. Is there proof that this works? And this guy actually does. He does legit stuff. And if he ever needs a voucher, here it is. You can get jerseys for as low as $12. And it's crazy. So if you ever see K. Smith out there promoting something, he's legit. He can get you the jerseys you want, and all the 3 of us are benefiting from it for sure. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And we'll see how it works. It's already worked out for Scotty.
Yep.
And he's going round 2. I'm going round 1. I can't wait. I have not bought a jersey since Shady. Since Shady was on the team.
That's my last one. Shady McCoy's my last jersey I bought.
There you go.
I got like the next recent one was like a Kiko. Oh no, yeah. So I would have got the Kiko the year before the Shady because I got pissed because they traded Kiko away. And I thought that it was like the legend of Kiko Alonso. Like, they're going to keep him forever, man. He was like a cheap pick and all that stuff. And then out he goes.
Nice. Do you see what Brett Thomason said?
Yeah.
He's getting his oldest son a JP Lossman jersey. There you go.
You guys see what Josh Cook said? I remember the Junior Eagles A team went 9-0 back in 1995.
We held the Waterloo Indians to a goal line stand. 4 plays, stopped them. There you go. There you go. Good memories with the Vince Lombardi, and that's why it hits home to us, and that's why we're more than willing to help support for sure.
Nice.
Love it.
There you go.
Well, it's getting to be about that time, but there was one thing that was in the news that we didn't talk about, and I thought it was funny. Well, 2 things, I guess. I thought it was funny that the Miami news broke today after this news broke yesterday about Deshaun Watson getting his 6-game suspension, which means, just to keep it relevant to the Bills will face him week 11, I believe. Or,
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's something to consider. A lot of people, depending on which side of the coin you're on, I think most of them are pretty upset that it was only 6 games. Pretty upset about the wording. I'm not going to get political about all of this stuff. To me, like, dude's just an asshole. Should have got more. There's other people that have done less, however you want to say it, like lesser crimes, lesser infractions, whatever. I guess it's not technically a crime right now because he hasn't been charged with any of it, right? So
my thing is when you're violating other human beings, it's got to take another level. When it's putting money against the game, like Ridley, that's when he wasn't even playing. That's something else. But when you're affecting another individual's life
or 28,
right, to 28, 60, whatever. What about the people who didn't report anything? It's like, then it's got to take another level. So 6 games is a joke. And, I don't know if the NFL is trying to make a joke of the Cleveland Browns franchise, but they're doing a pretty good job of it. And to show videos of fans are fans. Like, we love our players, regardless sometimes of what they do. And to show a video of everybody hounding Deshaun Watson to get an autograph, too early. You don't know what's going on yet. Stop doing that.
There's a couple.
You're tainting the brand.
Absolutely, and you're 100% right. There's just like a couple things that I try to think about when these things come up, where it's like, what is the worst thing that could happen to a current Bills player right now that I would still be okay with, like, supporting the team and doing what it is? And, like, I've been a diehard Bills fan for a very, very long time. If they move cities, I don't know what the hell I'd do. I wouldn't watch football. It'd be too hard. Like, that's like the shitty thing. I love football. It'd be too hard for me to watch, not knowing that the Bills aren't playing. So I try to put myself in that position. The thing is, it's not just him. Kareem Hunt's been on that team, and he knocked the shit out of his girlfriend. And a team won the Super Bowl with him on it and kicked him the hell off because they were like, we don't need you. Like, no matter how good you are, we don't need you. And Cleveland was like, come on. And, like, how many scumbags have they done that with? And now this dude who, like, I'm not crying any rivers for Baker Mayfield, but this dude makes Baker Mayfield look like a goddamn saint, like, he makes you feel bad for Baker Mayfield, And I just, the way they wrote up his contract, to guarantee him the least amount of money in that first year, knowing that he was going to get suspended, the way they went about it, screwing Baker, and, it's just whatever. So for me, it's like, it's been months and months and months of this. And if I was a Bills fan and I was going through it, I just don't think I could do it. I don't think I could root for the dude. Right. I don't think, like, I could root for the team, but I don't think I could root for the dude. I'd probably be rooting for the defense.
Right.
I wouldn't be asking for his autograph. But if I was a kid and I didn't understand the situation, that's a Brown, and I'm a Browns fan. Right?
Yeah.
So, to me, it looks scummy. It looks superficial. It looks like he's trying to go on that media tour right now to clear his name, and you know, hopefully in 3 or 4 years everybody forgets about it, like Ray Rice or Ezekiel Elliott or, you know, Mike Vick or whoever else you want to talk about, right? Nobody even remembers Kareem Hunt, and to me he was like the most violent, like one out of all, like, well,
hardcore video.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ray Rice was too.
Ray Rice. Yeah, well, and he lost his career.
Yep.
Totally lost his career. He admitted what happened, told him exactly what happened, and then the video came out, and then he lost his career. You know, it was like, oh, that video says exactly what you said happened. You're gone. But before that, they only suspended him for like 4 games.
I was like, did Kareem have a video? Was there an actual video of Kareem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's just whatever. I don't want to get all crazy into it, but I can understand where that like tension comes as a fan. But I know a lot of Browns fans that are like, nope, not while he's quarterback, not while this is going on, and that's got to be so shitty. Like to watch a team that is literally built to go as far as like you've always wanted them to go, and not want to root for them because they have a scummy quarterback in a scummy situation with a scummy front office. Like,
it's the position, right? Quarterback.
Yeah.
It's the lead guy.
It seems like sometimes the Cleveland Browns are a team. Look how they hyped up Mayfield. Look how they've hyped up that whole Browns organization. I don't know if it was because of one of the originals or what, because Paul Brown was the coach and, you know, very reputable guy. And they just seem, it's one of those teams that they seem to hold on a pedestal. Josh Cook just said it perfectly. Pretty sure the first 6 games are the easiest of their schedule. Of course. Yep. Let him miss those first 6 games. Show him as a punishment. And when he comes back to play Baltimore, then it's all fine and dandy. The thing I have a problem with it, and I'm not going to be shy about saying anything, the NFL, you're all about stop hate, stop crime, stop sexual violence, stop violence, all that stuff. And yet when someone gambles when they're injured on a team for their team, you're suspending them for a year. Someone who's gambling, somebody who smokes weed, he's missed 25 seasons, it seems like, in Josh Gordon. Okay. We got a president now that's willing to sacrifice everything to bring a person that smoked weed over to another country where it's illegal and all that. It's like, what the hell's going on here? And now you got someone that 30 women are coming forward saying that they were sexually assaulted of any kind of manner. And you're saying it's the same suspension as using illegal drugs for the PEDs, same suspension. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not only that, but the Cleveland Browns go ahead and he's guaranteed his $45 million this year. So you want to know where $45 million of that dollars are going? It's going to pay off these people for settlements, as they call it. Good. The NFL needs to shape up or ship out. You can't have all these commercials and all these things branding. Let's protect people. Let's be on people's side when you're going to let a douchebag like this play in the NFL. And it goes to the Kareem Hunts. It goes to the Tyreek Hills, the Ray Rices and all that stuff. Kick them out of the fucking league.
Yeah.
Because they're making you look like pieces of shit.
It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt it's not going to hurt the brand to kick these guys out of the league because the next guy is going to come up and be better. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why they don't see that either. Deshaun Watson, okay, he kicked him out of the league. Okay, the Browns are going to select 2 years. No one will know this guy's name anymore.
Well, Jared, you know what it comes down to? And this is a fact, is that with CTE and all this stuff, you got these athletes that think that they can do whatever they want to women, and maybe their mind's not right when it comes to that. But when the effects of football finally take over and they can't think anymore and they have all these demons in their head because the CTE and the concussions and all that stuff are taking over, how do you think they're going to treat humans just in general?
Yeah.
You need to nip it in the bud. If they're already treating people like this right now, when their brain is mush, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
I think one of the things I wanted to touch on with all this was
sorry.
No, it's okay. Hey man,
Emotions,
it's
man.
one of those things, man. And we're not one of those shows that's all frilly and rainbows and bullshit. Like, you know, if we feel some way, we say it, you know. We try not to be political. We try to have a good time. We're all about positivity. But when there's negativity, there's just like we were talking about with the fights at camp, the fights in the family, like, it's got to come out or else where's it going to go, you know? One of the things I wanted to say, so like if everybody wants to wash it, right? Everybody wants to say like, okay, well, you know, he's got his punishment in 6 games and blah, blah, blah. And so no, he's just going to serve 6 games and we're going to move on, and that's what it's going to be, right? Like some people are like that. Okay. I want to look strictly at this from a football perspective. I don't believe that this dude is as good as everybody says he is. I don't believe that he was as good when everybody was saying he was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't played a fucking snap in a year and a half. So I likened this earlier on the messenger little message thing we have going on. Le'Veon Bell, man. And I think that Le'Veon Bell did his stuff right. Definitely compared to, Brown. But, like, he went about the right way. He sat out the way he was supposed to, blah, blah, blah. They never gave him the contract that he wanted in Pittsburgh. Why? Because Pittsburgh is a running team that made no-name running backs into stars, right? The same thing that Big Ben did to wide receivers for years. They were a running team, and Big Ben would bomb the ball, and that's their game. Le'Veon Bell sat out for a year. Then he came back, and he got paid by the Jets. And what happened? He got paid, and he did nothing. Mm-hmm. And then he bounced around from team to team, and now he's out of the league as far as I know. Right? One of the best running backs to play the game. A different style than everybody else.
It's all scheme. Scheme fit.
All scheme. And so you're telling me, like, I know that Houston was starting to crumble right before Deshaun Watson decided to boycott and sit out and do whatever. But they still had some good players on that team before he decided to do that. And then he took that year off, and, you can speculate whatever you want and say. Maybe he knew these allegations were coming. Maybe he really just wanted to sit out and get as much money as he could from a different team. Whatever the case is, doesn't matter. You can't tell me, especially after what we were just talking about, real game reps and real practice reps and all that stuff, that he had anywhere near the training regiment that he would have had in a stadium with a team on the field. Like, you can say that he saved his body for a year and a half, or you can say he's gotten soft.
He aged a year and a half. Yeah.
He aged a year and a half. And
the NFL ages you quick.
It laps you. Not for long, right? It's a not for long league. So what my hopes are is that week 7, this dude suits up and he goes out there and doesn't realize that he's actually a year and a half behind the league, and maybe he hasn't taken care of himself the way he's supposed to, maybe whatever. Who knows? The thing is, you don't know. Mm-hmm. Like the league, it just, everybody's bigger, faster, stronger each year, and if you decide to take a siesta for a year and a half and then come into the league again, you can't tell me this dude's going to look like the same dude. And like I said, I don't think that he was that good of a dude. Like, I know that he was athletic and whatever. Show me the stats. How many playoff games does this kid win? Why is everybody all hyped up on him? Is he another Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers, great quarterback. Didn't do anything. I'll add him to the list right now.
So you know how everyone's feeling about Deshaun Watson right now? So you add these 2 equations to it. Ready? He hasn't played in a year and a half, and now he's coming back to play after being accused of sexual assault. And he's going against 300-pound men on a defense. Do you think he's going to even last until week 11 to face the Buffalo Bills?
Who knows?
Do you think the refs are going to allow those late hits on this guy for what he's done?
Yeah.
Who knows how they play it? Sounds like Goodell and the NFL are trying to protect him anyway, so the refs are in the back pocket with that.
They're trying to protect the product of NFL.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
I mean, and whatever. I love the product. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is a thing with it, where it's like, it's the Pete Rose thing. How long ago did Pete Rose get kicked out of Major League Baseball? Like, how long ago was that for? And he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? One of the best ball players to ever play. They kick him out because he gambled on himself. Same deal.
To win.
And we're still not far enough to say that like that is still ruining the product worse than somebody that's got, 24 confirmed sexual assaults. Like, I don't know. I don't know where we're at with that. I don't know how I would feel if I was a woman on the staff of the Browns right now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep.
And what you just hope for with all this Miami talk and the Cleveland Browns bringing those players in that have the history of that is that you never know where it's going to hit, but you're hoping that Bean and Pagulas have this moral conduct that we've seen so far to be good continue. And I would hate for that to hit our franchise. No one wants that to hit their franchise as a fan base, right? It just so happened to hit theirs. So Bean, Pagulas, keep up the good work. Lead this franchise, lead the fan base to where they want to be, rooting for a team that has this moral conduct, this moral being that is going to make us happy when we get to where we want to be at the end of the season and feel good about it and not have any little asterisks or hashtags with it.
Excuse me.
It's just, you just hope that your franchise continues to lead the right way. It sucks for those franchises who have to fight against this stuff, but as a Bills fan, I'm glad to be where we're at right now.
Yep, for sure. We don't have to deal with that shit.
I wanted to address something really fast. Mike Voice says I have to disagree with you, Swank, on Watson not being good, borderline great quarterback before all this bullshit happening. You don't lead the passing league with 45 to 4,700 yards ahead of some future Hall of Fame quarterbacks without being good. Hey, man, I'm not saying that he wasn't good. I'm not saying that he didn't have a great season, but it's one season. Like that stat is hit, and I'm not trying to do it. Absolutely. I'm glad that you argued that point, and you're right. I'm probably dogging him a little too hard. But if I'm looking at this list right now of all-time passing leaders, Jameis Winston's on that list. And he was the year before Deshaun Watson. He was 2019. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to dog you. But, like, Jameis Winston is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Not yet. But probably not ever, right?
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger, yes, absolutely. Tom Brady, yes. Drew Brees for 3 years in a row between 14 to 16. Ben Roethlisberger again. Peyton Manning is only on this list twice, 3 times. 2000, 2003, and 2013, Peyton Manning's on this list.
And he only hit that 4,800 yard mark once. He did it in 2020. They made the playoffs. Yep. They beat a Josh Allen Bills team that fell apart in the second half. So he looked good. He looked good.
Yeah.
But the Bills defense looked horrible. Broken tackles, missed coverage. So not because I'm siding with you, Swank, because you're my buddy. Mike, okay. You're my buddy too. I love you guys, but that is a good stat. Yes. Yeah. But that's 1 year. He's had receivers, Hopkins. He's had Will Fullers. He's had David Johnson as a running back and Lamar Miller as running backs. He's had tight ends. He's had Demarius, and he's won 1 playoff game.
J.J. Watt.
He's made 3 Pro Bowls, but with the talent he's had, if you look at the names that he's had around him, he should have been in a couple of those divisional AFC championship games. Sure. And he hasn't. And he's exceeded 30 touchdown passes once. And
you could say this.
He has more accusations against him sexually than he does touchdown passes in the season.
You just wanted that to stat of the day. This
list
is interesting, man.
I think he's been overpaid. He's been over. I don't know what Deshaun Watson has done to the higher ups in the NFL, but I don't think he deserves the credit he's been given. I really don't.
Patrick Hughes, also he beat the Bills in the playoffs due to the black coat guy. Yeah, has anybody ever explained this black coat guy that ran out? Ooh, it pissed me off so bad. Like, who the hell is that guy? I meant only the big name future. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. No, like I said, I'm not trying to dog you, dude. It's one of those things where, like, he's good. I want to see where he's at now. And I'd be lying if I told you that I didn't want him to fall flat on his face, and the Browns to just go right down. I just don't. I don't have any love for him. I hope that Josh Allen just destroys them. I hope Von Miller sacks him and Eddie Oliver gives him a shoulder massage right afterwards.
There you go. I was going to ask you. You put out a post earlier today on Twitter. What celebration do you see Von Miller? Yep. I see the massage. All right.
All right.
Just one more thing about Watson really quick.
Sure.
And if you want to throw stats out there, he almost threw for 5,000 yards the last season he really played.
2020.
And the team went 4-12. So there's more than just yards.
Good point.
Right? Even with all that talent he had behind him.
That was the year that Hopkins was gone, though, right? They traded him that year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what's his face? Who was the coach they had?
O'Brien for some reason.
Yeah. He
comes to me.
I mean, he completely dismantled the team for nothing.
We touch this real quick?
Yeah.
Miami debacle. Let's just hit it real quick.
Sure.
The only problem I have with it, and one of our good friends at the Thomas Take Sports podcast mentioned this. Miami's in trouble. We got a lot of fans complaining because they believe it has to do with purposely losing. No, it actually has to do with tampering with the coach, Peyton, and a player, Tom Brady. My question is to you guys, in order to tamper with someone, that someone also has to tamper back with you. So do you think
takes two to tamper?
Yes. Do you think our little Mr. NFL Tom Brady is going to see any repercussion of this, or do you think again he's going to be protected by the almighty badge of the NFL? Peyton's already been in trouble. He'll get in trouble. I have a feeling he'll suffer something, even though he's not in the league anymore. I don't know where he is. But what do you think about Brady?
And then he said he's open to coming back next year.
Right. Good luck with that. With what just came out.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to Brady?
He'll be fine. I think it's more of a ownership type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should look into it, and I think they should throw some more mud. But the guy's Teflon, man. Nothing ever sticks to him. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Ryan Thomas put that post out, and I did a GIF of freaking God, what the hell's his name? It's a dude from Parks and Rec, Swanson, the boss. He's just slamming a phone with his hammer. And I was like, live look at Tom Brady right now.
Breaking the phone.
Breaking the phone.
Yeah.
Getting rid of all
Ron
evidence.
Swanson.
Again.
But, yeah, man, nothing will happen. I think one of the more interesting things from that to me is that, like, the Browns were kind of involved in all that, too.
So is Bill Belichick.
Yeah. So I'm all about it. Bring it on.
Bring it on. You know what the funny thing is, though? The two picks that were taken away from the Miami Dolphins, they have 2 first-rounders next year and 2 third-rounders. So they just picked the rounds that they already have picks in.
Sure. Which
is funny. I know we ran late, guys, but
yeah,
I love the conversation we have with our fans and with you guys for sure.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's do this quick. Get out. We're an hour and a half in. Jerry, what do you got?
Overtime! I can't wait to see your little thing there. Right at 9:00, you hitting that.
Overtime.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do.
Kent Hall, Steve Tasker, get those names in your mouth. The 49 people voting on the Hall of Fame committee. You got to get those guys in. Their resume is ridiculous. It's a shame that they're not in there already. Just do it. 2, Jennifer and Micah Barlow, who screamed bloody murder when I mentioned Micah Hyde's name when he was walking over to go to the dorm rooms. You guys are super fans. You guys believe in Micah Hyde. You guys showed up to camp just to see him and meet him, and just so happened you did. I'm glad you got the tattoo, Micah. That's an awesome tattoo. I hope it, if Micah becomes a Hall of Famer, which I think he might, if they win the Super Bowl for the next 2 years, Micah Hyde will be a Hall of Famer. That's gonna be a great tattoo. Your fanhood, your fandemonium hood, it goes from person to person. However you love the Bills, we're going to respect that as 24/7 Buff Fandemonium as fans ourselves. whatever level of fanhood you have, we love it. Keep cheering on those Buffalo Bills. They're going to feed off it every game, every camp that you go visit, and you're yelling the players' names. They're loving it. So just keep it up. We love it. The time's ticking out. I can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to spin that Pandemonium Wheel of Destiny to who wins the 2 pieces of turf from New Era Stadium. Mid-Lakes alum boosters, $10 a shot, get you in for that running. I can't wait to see you guys back next week with the Pandemonium, and we'll talk Bills football again. Go Bills!
Jarrod, you mentioned Ket Hall and Steve Task. I'm going to throw another name out there because I've seen a lot of stats, and you see Ray Lewis on a lot of them. London Fletcher's number 2. So London Fletcher, guys, he's done enough. He's done more than enough to earn his name and as far as the ballots go. I'm going easy. Preseason games start next Saturday. And us at 24/7 Buff Pandemonium, we preach one game at a time. We've said it, Super Bowl or bust, but there's a bunch of games that are played before then. Enjoy the preseason. Let's evaluate some players. Come on the show and talk to us about those players and how you think that's going to all pan out for the regular season, the 53-man roster, and enjoy every game with us every Sunday. And obviously we have primetime games, but we do a Sunday sessions. We'd love to talk to you at 11:30 in the morning with Ryan Thomas, Swank, and myself. And, we also have a live feed going on as far as comments. So join us one game at a time. Let's enjoy this season. It's here. Thursday starts it all, guys. Go Bills. Go 2022 season. Let's make that run for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah. Listen, all you Pandemonium freaks out there, thanks so much for hanging out and all the well wishes. And, you guys are great, man. John Johns, Joey Hedge, Debbie Everton, Nicole. It just, everybody, you guys make this thing work and keep going. So thanks for all of your input and your kind words. And we love you very much. And you can join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the K-Gun Report right here on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or Twitch. Or you can listen to the live audio recording on all of your favorite podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Anchor.
Space.
Don't forget about September 3rd. If you are in the area or not in the area, please come up for the regular season Rager 2nd annual. We have so many cool things going on. It's hard to write a post pushing it and promoting it without making it a novel.
Lots going on.
It's got to be too long to read all the time. But, Mark Maddox confirming you can meet ex-Buffalo Bill linebacker great Mark Maddox. You can help out his foundation, the Help One Foundation, just by showing up and paying $5 to get in. With that $5, you are automatically entered to win a Stephon Diggs COA autographed jersey. Not to mention all the other raffles, the 50-50, and of course, my favorite part, the super fans, man. Lady Bills, Buffalo Spartan. Also, Buffalo Spartan was saying the super fan voting is open, so please go do that for them.
Give them some cred, guys. They deserve it.
Bill's kid, Bill's dad, Bill's Jason, Lady Bills, Bill's Wonder Woman, more and more and more that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now. Reinvention Brewing in Manchester, New York, September 3rd, 3 to 9. The Endless Mountain Derelicts are playing music. We're doing a live show. It's just going to be crazy. We'll have shirts, stickers, all sorts of crazy things. So come on down. Super Fanatics beer is getting released. I'm telling you, man, you just can't even grasp how much shit is going on September 3rd. With that being said, love you, kiddies. Go Bills.
I do want to throw this out there real quick since the season is coming around and K Smith is on here watching us and commenting. Contact K Smith. Great deal on jerseys, not signed jerseys, but jerseys you can wear to the games at home, represent your Buffalo Bills, home, away, red, all that stuff. K Smith's the guy to talk to. He'll hook you up. Contact him for sure. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills!
This is a dangerous group